Hello everybody, and welcome to this video brought to you by Siemens Digital Industry Software. Today we will be discussing the digital transformation of the consumer packaged goods or CPG industry. We'll discuss the importance of flexible and predictive manufacturing, logistics, quality control, data-driven operations, and sustainability. I'm Cheyenne, I'm the Industry Marketing Manager for CPG, and today I'm here with our topic expert Kevin, who is the Industry Manager for CPG in our digital manufacturing segment. So before starting, let's get into the nitty-gritty about what is the CPG industry. So these are products that are used very frequently, daily, weekly, and are also replaced often.
Yeah, indeed. You could say it's everything that we buy on a regular basis in the supermarkets. Think about everything which is food, drinks, but also, for instance, deodorants, shampoos, washing liquids, washing detergents. All of these stuff that you buy on a regular basis and that you use on a daily or a weekly basis, this is what CPG is all about.
All right, and currently we're seeing that the CPG manufacturing industry is under a lot of pressure. On one side, because consumer preferences are changing quickly, and also then rising energy and material costs. So they need to rethink their strategies for their traditional high volume, low margin model.
Yeah, indeed. We see how consumer demands, they are indeed shifting. Consumers are asking for healthier products, more sustainable products, more personalized products. So this means that the manufacturing organization within CPG needs to be capable of reacting swiftly to those changes. At the same time, there is indeed also cost pressure from raw materials, which makes that efficiency becomes ever more crucial during manufacturing to keep control over the costs. So from that angle, it's clear the goal is to transform the operations within CPG manufacturing into a very lean and adaptable system that allows to react quickly to those demands from the market.
All right, and let's talk a bit more about this transformation. We at Siemens, we work with the concept of the digital twin, which is a digital replica of the product, process, performance, and as well as a supply chain. Now, this technology allows for real-time monitoring and simulation, so we can make rapid adjustments. Of course, also keeping an eye on quality, sustainability, and efficiency. Now, how is this helping transform factories into adaptable systems?
Well, it's by using that digital twin, by harnessing the digital twin technology, that you can really embrace an agile environment and move in the direction of flexible and predictive manufacturing. How do you do so? Well, you do so by leveraging upon data analytics that allow you to gain insights in data and take action based upon that insights. Think, for instance, about demand that might all of a sudden rise. Well, you need to react upon that and you need to prepare upon that. So this is where, based upon the insights that you get from the analytics that you do, the data-driven analytics, well, this is where you can start optimizing your production planning, where you can anticipate on those fluctuations, where you can adjust your production schedules in need to meet those rises in demand, but at the same time, making sure that you have the organization in place to keep control of the costs, to keep control of the performances, to keep control of the quality of your product. That is crucial.
Now, agile manufacturing, flexible practices, and digital solutions are some of Siemens' focal points. Now, this helps manufacturers to accelerate their execution processes, but also on effectively using their materials. On top of this, they can also maintain scalability of producing these new customized innovative products, but in the end, adapting to lot size X, which is quite challenging.
Yeah, that's correct. If you look at the flexible and predictable manufacturing, this is what allows manufacturers to effectively manage the complexity of production, but at the same time giving them the flexibility to swiftly reconfigure those production lines if needed according to certain new product variants or raises in demand. And eventually also operate them efficiently, because that's what it all comes down to. Making sure you have the flexibility, but you still have the efficiency. And this is how you get the scalability in producing those customized products in different lot sizes X, as they come now in the CPG market.
Another topic that is important when it comes to making manufacturing operations more efficiently is flexibility in intralogistics. This is helping manufacturers to react on changes in demand or production requirements. How does this help with overall efficiency in a manufacturing plant?
If we have the flexibility to quickly reconfigure our production lines, it goes without saying that we need to have the same flexibility when it comes to reconfiguring our workflows that we have in production. At the same time, it's also about mastering the inventory that needs to come to the line. If you reconfigure your production line, you need to make sure that you have the materials which you need during production, that you have them available at the line, and that you can also bring them back to the warehouse after the production is finished. So these need to be tackled as well in order to bring that efficiency. At the same time, it's not only about reconfiguring those workflows, reconfiguring also those material stagings and reverse stagings. It's also about making sure that these processes are reliable and stable. Because if you fail, if it's not stable, if it's not reliable, that means that there is somewhere a hiccup in the delivery of materials to the line, which means in the end that you will impact the output of the line, impacting finally also the delivery into the market. So crucial to have a good solution in place also to master that intra-plant logistic flows that brings you the flexibility which is needed.
All right. And then after the digital twin is used to plan a production, it's time to transition to the real world, to the execution part. Yep. And this is then where our previous strategic decisions are transformed into real-time actions, as well for the theoretical blueprints are becoming tangible processes, all keeping an eye on adaptability, precision, and seamless coordination.
Yeah, indeed. This is where the team will start using those plans, using that information, using these forecasts, and start translating it into reconfiguring production lines where needed in order to meet those demands.
Okay.
At the same time, if you have the MES in place, the manufacturing execution system, this is what will also allow to control and to master the complexity in production in a specific plant and even across different plants globally. The MES really allows you to gain a complete control over your full manufacturing process in all plants. And this is when the two come together, having an agile environment that allows you to quickly reschedule, to be flexible and so on, combined with the MES solution that you have in place to really master the complexity, to control your manufacturing environment. This is where we can go one step further even by introducing what we call real-time capability matching, where you say, look, I have a work order needs to be executed on the work floor, but it's the execution engine that checks which machine is available that meets the requirements I have here from my work order, that has the right capabilities to execute my work order. And this is where the execution engine will guide the work order towards that workstation, towards that production line, to really execute what's needed. Okay. This brings full flexibility, because if you have that, this means that if a workstation is out of order for one reason or another, it's the engine that checks automatically where is the other workstation available that has the same capabilities, that can help me. This assures, of course, that your production keeps on going. You have no unscheduled stops in your production.
Now, leveraging predictive maintenance and control systems is helping to fine-tune in real time. This is minimizing downtime, but also optimizing equipment performance. Now, how do these predictive algorithms detect anomalies early so we can prevent potential breakdowns before they happen and are becoming very costly?
Well, indeed, looking at predictive maintenance, it's really looking for those anomalies. It's not waiting until we have a breakdown in production. So looking for anomalies, think of something like, for instance, a motor which is running at a higher temperature than it's normally running. Well, a sensor will detect that temperature, and that's through the predictive maintenance solution that the operators will be informed that something is off, something is wrong. So that way, an intervention can be scheduled, an analysis can be done, a root cause analysis to see what has caused that motor to run at this temperature. And based upon that, this can be avoided in the future. This is how predictive maintenance can really help in becoming more lean, avoiding those unscheduled stops at a line.
All right. Looking at the CPG industry specifically, there are different needs than that we see in, for example, discrete industries. We recently combined the power of low-code with our MES, making it industry specific. So now using this, we can offer unmatched personalization and adaptability to manufacturers. So we have certain templates out of the box that can be used, but also you can personalize those further afterwards.
Yes, indeed. If we look at the integration that we've done with the low-code platform together with our MES, this is really bringing a lot of value, since we have spoken already about the flexibility which is needed in production, flexibility to reconfigure production lines, to reconfigure workflows based upon changes in customer demand. And this is exactly where the low-code integration brings a lot of additional flexibility. With such low-code solution, you can easily integrate shop floor expertise. You can easily also reconfigure your workflows. And yeah, it also offers a great solution for cross-functional collaboration. So having this in place, this is what really brings value to CPG manufacturers, allowing them to elevate further that efficiency in production, but also making sure that product quality is maintained and goods also get out of manufacturing in time, being shipped to the customers in time, making sure they meet that demand.
You just mentioned product quality, which is one of the most important topics when it comes to CPG manufacturing. When I'm eating or drinking something, of course, I want it to be safe. Same for my skincare or my makeup. I need to know that the products that I'm consuming are safe and not harming me. And unfortunately, we still see these stories on the news sometimes. So
Indeed.
How can we integrate quality control in execution?
Well, thinking about CPG, as you mentioned, quality is crucial. A CPG manufacturer, think about someone in food, he does not want to put something on your table where there is a risk or an issue. So he needs to make sure that the quality is premium. Now, from our side, how do we see this? Well, we really embed quality from inbound to outbound. We close really that quality loop in a company. And how we do so? Well, we have our laboratory information management system, the so-called LIMS. And our LIMS solution is very flexible, integrates very easily with other software solutions that a company has. And for instance, during the delivery of raw materials, as soon as the delivery comes in, a sample is needed from that batch that's being delivered, and that needs to go into the lab. The sample creation was triggered automatically during the launch of the purchase order in, for instance, the ERP system. There is a seamless connection creating that sample. Batch is being delivered, sample goes into the lab. The lab is performing the analysis on the quality of that batch that comes from your supplier. It's also the laboratory management solution that will tell the ERP system or the warehouse management system or whatever is in place at that moment to either release that batch into production or to block that batch because there is a problem with the quality of those raw materials. So that way you are already sure that only good quality products go into your production. Next step is, of course, when you go into production, to make sure that all of the steps during your production process, that you manage them well as well, that you don't have any hiccups in the quality. Now, how can you do so? By integrating the laboratory management solution with the manufacturing execution system. Different steps during the production process, sample taking will be embedded in the workflows, making sure that the sample goes into the lab. Lab is analyzing the quality in the same way I just described. Lab is sending back the usage decision to the MES, telling the MES it's okay to continue with that batch. All the quality parameters are okay, or no, you cannot continue with that batch for now. You need to take a corrective action due to the fact that some of the quality parameters are out of spec. So this is how quality is really embedded during execution.
Now, moving towards digitalized factories, tons and tons of data are produced. How can the integration of all this data with the production lines support decision-making and efficiency?
Well, it's really different elements coming together. Look, for instance, at transparency in production that you need, that we have mentioned already. We spoke already about data-driven operations also. And we mentioned, of course, also predictive analytics.
Yes.
Combining all of those, this is what makes it possible to be very efficient in manufacturing, but also be very responsive. It's easy for all of the operators and managers to follow up on how is my production evolving? What is the output of my lines? What's the quality of the output of my lines? What's the inventory levels that I have? So all of this is easily accessible. And this is what makes sure that if you have all of that in place, that manufacturers, they can really face the competition in the market and that they can really meet those requirements coming from the market, meet those demands for new products, personalized products at premium quality.
I'd like to circle back to predictive maintenance for a moment. So sustainability is becoming more and more important, not only for end users, myself included, but also manufacturers.
Mhm.
At one side, they want to meet consumer expectations, but they also want to optimize their own processes. So how do safety measures, energy efficiency, and predictive maintenance all go hand in hand?
Well, indeed, I like how you bring this and link predictive maintenance with sustainability. And let's look at sustainability from a broad perspective, where you have indeed the energy efficiency, but where you have indeed also the people aspect
Indeed.
linked to sustainability.
Yes, 100%.
And if you talk about predictive maintenance, this is where taking action before a failure occurs in production, this can really help avoiding accidents in production, improving, of course, the safety of the workers. So that's the first important step. Talking about sustainability, thinking about the people aspect involved. Yes, predictive maintenance is helping from that angle. At the same time, looking at energy efficiency, if you have predictive maintenance in place and you combine that, you integrate that with measures you have taken for energy efficiency, this is, of course, once again, where you can have a double effect, I would say, by first of all making sure that you have no downtimes, that you can flag up any anomalies that might occur in time, but at the same time, having a machine running with some kind of an anomaly is using additional energy,
Yes.
which is, of course, not energy efficient. So introducing energy efficiency and combining this with predictive maintenance is giving you the win that you're sure that your production is running, and at the same time you can save costs thanks to the energy efficiency measures that you have taken.
Are there any other specific advantages for manufacturers?
While thinking about sustainability and predictive maintenance, of course, if you have that predictive maintenance, if you can intervene in time, avoiding machine breakdowns, avoiding failures and so on, this will, of course, also have a positive impact on the lifespan of your equipment, which is once again contributing to becoming more sustainable and so on. So that's definitely an additional advantage that you can that we can bring in as well.
Okay, I see. Now, my last question of today, still about the sustainability topic. How is the integration of IT and OT, or information technology and operation technology, playing an important factor in the whole sustainability story?
Well, IT-OT integration is indeed crucial. If you look at the manufacturing within CPG companies, it's really by having that integration that you can really lay the basis for a more holistic approach into manufacturing. And it's by combining IT and OT that we can really take a next step into optimizing different processes and go one step further in that data-driven decision making that we mentioned also already today. And this allows, of course, to go one step further into continuous improvement, because that's what it's all about.
That's
it's not
true.
about doing one improvement, it's doing continuous improvement, getting better each time. So, and this is where IT-OT integration plays a crucial role. And this is indeed where in the end, this allows to fine-tune your operations, improve your sustainability, get more energy efficiency and so on. So it's key going ahead.
Thank you so much, Kevin, for sharing your expertise with us today.
My pleasure.
We discussed a lot of things, going from predictive and flexible manufacturing all the way to sustainability, and how is this all connected?
Yep.
We discussed the challenges, but more important, the solutions going forward to smart manufacturing.
Indeed. Yeah.
If you'd like to know more, please visit our website or contact your local Siemens representative.